Hey everyone, and welcome to our next Hollywood Hills insert. And I actually cannot believe we are closing in on the halfway mark of April. There's just been so much going on and it's really positive. It does look like things are going to start calming down now. I keep saying that, but there has to start getting like this rhythm, you know, where we do like maybe 2 events a month. But right now it seems like there's just events all over the place on top of each other. And actually, I couldn't be happier about the situation. It's wild. So this weekend, me and the LiveX lads, we went out to EWXC for their 3rd round. Remember, they only run a 4-round championship, so it's very tight and it's all kind of bunched at the early part of the season. But round number 3 was a double venue. So last time we went out to Heidelberg, and because of XYZ, we had to go back to Heidelberg as well. So it was a completely different layout of a track, very hot day. But the one thing that did change was a new winner. So it's been a very big story that Heinrich Aust has come strong, really strong as well. Him and Walker were tight, but Walker took round 1. Aust took a 2nd place, then he took the win at round number 2 with a no-show from Walker, and then he took a 2nd place this time around. So he is your championship leader and definitely in good shape. But Garvey, that's Rob Garvey, on the whole shot racing Husqvarna, is nailing it at the moment. He smashed the field. He put 2 minutes into them on the first lap and he maintained that gap, eking it out to just over 5 minutes by the finish line. So Rob Garvey is hustling at the moment and absolutely hammered the field. Watch out though, we're not going to talk too much about that right now. We've got a full edit coming your way and that's going to drop at the end of the week. So watch out for that, where we'll review all the classes and tell you exactly what went down on the day and in the mountains of Heidelberg. Also, we're now catching ourselves up and we're going to do a little insert here. It's the first time we've done it with Hollywood Hills, where for the last 2 weeks you've seen us do the review shows and the highlight packages for the GXCCs. From the first one that was 2 weeks ago, that was the first show covering the juniors and the quads. The second show last week was the pro motorcycles. This is the support class, and the first time we put it inside of a Hollywood Hills episode. So we really hope you guys enjoy that. We're tagging the guys in the top 5. If you didn't make the cut and make the show inside the top 5, you know what you got to do? Go a little bit quicker next time. Enjoy the show. This GXCC driven by Dunlop Racing action is proudly brought to you by SPX Logistics, driven by Dunlop Tires, and powered by Bikers Warehouse. This week, it's the chance for the support class categories racing out of the Modimolle GXCC Round number 2 to shine. This was a much bigger event for everyone involved in the GXCC family. The nationals were there. Everything was a little bit more tense on the day, but one thing remained the same: an awesome track and great racing as always. On the Big Banger OR1 Pro-Ams, George Della Rosa almost overshot turn number 1, put it on the nose, but still walked away with the whole shot, and that was worth massive burns on his hands. And then Dwayne Clausen lost his seat and had to ride the entire lap number 1 without anything to sit on. On the OR2s, Matty Sneyman got a big pull off the line. Himself and Morné Kotze were going to be in the mix, but also Megan Jonker got her best gate of the season so far. 3rd in whole shot number 1, which was Bernard Vervoer, and by the time she got to Moto Cartel, Megan Jonker on her 350 was up into the 2 spot, and that was good because it was a massive gate in the OR2 Pro-Ams. In the OR3s, Mudman Miguel, yes, it was dusty and sandy and there was roost, but it was all coming off his back tire. He pulled his first big hole shot of the season and tried desperately to escape the chasing pack of Madman coming out of the OR3 Pro-Ams. And then on the ladies' gate, with a lot of the pros out there on the track, and with the combination of pros and support class ladies, we had our biggest ladies entry. The whole shot went to Shelly Tyler, with Abigail Fisser doing the chase down. Shady Kropler was in the mix there as well. And then the final gate of the day was going to be about our wild class riders, where Philip Hobbs saw clear air and literally left everyone else in his wake. More than half the field going down in a blaze of glory at the whole shot first pin. Bernard Vervoer, they would have a busy day chasing through the roost and the traffic. Out on track with the eye in the sky, keeping an eye on everything that went down. It was a long first loop for the Pro-Am and support class categories to figure out how the track was running, but the track ran really well. The problem was, for the guys that didn't get the good gate, they were going to be in 5 o'clock traffic, chasing through the dust and sucking it the whole way through the day. Shining a light on the guys that actually managed to get a good job going and stayed out of trouble, stayed inside the top 5. Dion Vivas got a good run going on his 402 machine to taste number 5. Remember, it is top 6 glory. That is where you really start making your money on the GXCCs. Carlos Neyman was running good numbers inside the top 4 to get 4th place, and PW Van Biljoen got his highest ever GXCC finish in the wild class with a number 3 ride. Werner Van Heerden, who we followed around the country for the last couple of months, watching him do really well at hare scramble events. No big surprise to see the localized rider out of Mpumalanga get it done. He loved this terrain. He had a sweet setup on his Husqvarna. 2 spot was where he rocked it. And then Philip Hobbs learned the ultimate lesson that we all know and love from GXCC racing. You've got to get the whole shot. You've got to pull the pin, drop the hammer on lap 1 and leave everyone to deal with the consequences. A nice big whole shot and a nice big first win and a new man on top. Hobbs is the man. Coming out of round number 2, 2nd place going to Van Heerden, Van Biljoen, Sneeman and Vivas, and then Ace, Erasmus, Brits, Ace and Crowcamp, your top 10 tasties in the wild class. Shining a light on the Ferris X as our little mascot takes off into the hot air of Modimolle. Abigail Visser, even though she had a really good drop off the gate, dropped down on race pace down to a number 5 finish. Lindy Barnard, who came out swinging and dusted off her bike for the first time in a couple of years at round number 1. She got a number 4 ride going. Danelle Dalport, who is a new blood to the sport, still getting picked up and supported by the Franchise Co and CIT squad. She had a rock solid day and one of the toughest days as well on this course. 3rd place for her will still keep her chin up and see her in the championship hunt. Your whole shotter off the Ladies Pro-Am gate, Shelly Taylor, actually did a good enough job to remain inside that top 2, so she's going to be chasing those points come the end of the day. But Shady Krobler is the lady to watch out for. Remember, if you win the Pro-Am Ladies gate and the championship for the rest of the season, you're going to be moving up into the Pro gate for 2022. Right now, Shady Krobler, with great support once again by the Franchise Co and CIT, sees the checkers big time, and this is going to help her out with confidence also going forward into round number 3. A new lady on top and a new starter, watch out. Krobler gets her win in the Pro-Am Ladies at Modimolle ahead of Tyler, her teammate Dalport inside of number 3. So big up to that squad. Barnard and Visser running out our ladies gate in the top 5. Now we move forward into the OR3s, the Mad Bunch, and we had well over 35 riders in the queue. Remember, there was a lot of traffic. If you didn't make the gate, these guys made the gate. Theo Barwise, who I love watching riding, he has been so much developing on his style and the way that he approaches the races. Cool to see him get the numbers inside of the top 5. Stefan Smith, who attacks the track every time we go out. Gotta love his cannonball style as well. He went for the aero tuck, removed the peak, and got the top end speed going on his Yamidaha. Then we start looking at the guys that broke inside of the top 3. This time, Jacques Oosthuizen found the running and the track to his liking, got the gate that he wanted, ran with the big dogs out front, broke away from the pack. 3rd place for Jacques Oosthuizen, his best ride on the GXCCs thus far. Even though the Mudman got clear air early on, he was beaten to the punch, but only by one rider. Miguel Mudman Magado is a rider on fire at the moment, coming out of Vans Racing Husqvarna. 2nd place for him. He is moving up in the championship for sure. And then Janus Janssen. We watched him the whole way through last year. He figured out the game that is GXCC racing, and he's putting all those pieces of the puzzle together to lock out back-to-back podiums coming out of round 1 and round number 2. Janus Janssen, the checkers, once again. Mudman getting in shape as well, putting in so much training and development on his riding style and his machine. Good to see that pay off in the 2 spot ahead of Oosthuizen, Smit, and Barwise, Van Heerden, Pretorius, Alexander, Swart, and Duplessis, your pinners in the top 10. And then on the OR2 Pro-Am gate, an interesting situation where we saw guys that we expect to chase for the wins having problems on the day. A lot of issues with a couple of riders getting lost. Nate Dog Godrich, that's Nathan Godrich, running inside of a number 5. Remember, he made the big move up. He was a championship winner last year in the OR3s. Now he's on the 350. Stoffelberger was up the road from him inside of a number 4 finish. And then it was 2x2 flying coming out of Rubine Racing. This juggernaut of a squad just gets bigger and more powerful every single event we go to. Third place this time around, going to Morné Kotze, and his teammate just up the road from him in the 2 spot. That is Werner Nordia. Blink and you'll think you're looking at the same rider twice, but the keen eyes out there will spot that there's different numbers on the bikes, different riding styles, and different helmets as well. So Morné Kotze in 3rd place, Werner Nordia in 2nd place, and that is a 3-2 finish coming out of Rubine Racing. But the big story on the day was our reigning ladies pro GXCC champion from 2020. She was almost unbeaten the whole way through last season, only got beaten on the one event where she had to actually miss it out through injuries, and Megan Jonker now wanted a new challenge in 2021. She has busted out a 350 freshie, lined up with the boys, and for the first time ever, a lady takes the win on the OR2 Pro-Am gate. Megan Jonker besting the best men in the country at the moment off that gate. So there is a bit of history, and Megan Jonker is also going to leap up the championship chase. She takes the win heading into round number 3 ahead of Nordia, Kutzer, Berger, and Godrich. Godrich, I think, is going to come good in the second half of the season. He beat out Sneeman, Burrell, Jordan, Young, and Lutz, the top 10 pros. But remember, it's a lady on top for the first time. And then on the big bangers, these guys gave us well over 40 riders. Spare a thought for this guy. Even though he lost his seat and ran the entire first loop without a saddle, Dwayne Clausen recovered, rebooted, remounted, and charged his way up inside of a top 5. That keeps him in the championship chase as well. But imagine how tired he was for the rest of the day. He had to stand up for an entire lap. Marius Lombard, he is a multifaceted rider, now getting picked up by the QCon EMD racing squad. We see him out at enduros, hare scrambles, and cross-country races. He is a man that will bring home the bacon every single time, and every single time he swings a leg, he does just that. 4th place for Marius. That's great numbers on the page. One of the riders out of last season who always ran inside the top 3. It was a bit of a slow start for the 2021 campaign for Dennis van der Merwe, but now he seems to have got his groove going. 3rd place for him, and that is good points and good numbers, but it was all about the gate and staying out of the roost. The rooster was delivering the goods once again though. Another top 3 placing coming in for Rudy Vieira. Last year he did around about 3 races on the 500. He stays on the same machine. It is absolutely dialed in at the moment, and the rooster with this ride should be your new championship points leader. He has kept his nose super clean the whole way through. And then the story of the day for me, Georgie Porgy Della Rosa, even though he overheated his bike, unscrewed the radiator and got 3rd-degree burns on his hand and upper arm before the start gate, pulled the whole shot, rode through all the pain with adrenaline pumping through his veins, and George Della Rosa on the Vans Racing Husqvarna absolutely decimated the field. Yeah, he was in pain big time after that, but the flag takes a lot of the pain away when the glory comes, and you see it for the first time. Your new winner on the tour then, George Della Rosa, hammers the field. He'll also be jumping up in the championship points. Rooster should be our championship leader with these numbers on the page, ahead of Van der Merwe, Lombard, Clausen, Venter, Swart, Van der Westhuizen, Schokos, and Gregory. The bangers delivering, and Della Rosa, the ride of the day. So that's a wrap as we leave Modimolle, round number 2 of the championship, and get ourselves ready for a brand new venue, round number 3 on the 8th of May. Heidelberg. We'll see you there. So that is our wrap. It's been 3 weeks of editing for the GXCC, so me and the LiveX boys are a little bit smoked out from that, but it all came together really, really well, and we can't wait for GXCC round number 3, which is incredibly enough only in 3 weeks' time out at the brand new venue of Heidelberg. It'll be the different side of Heidelberg that we were this weekend. That's the top end with the rocks. We'll go down to the bottom end that hopefully is less rocks, but it's a new venue, and I'm sure Vion is going to be telling us all about that very soon. Right now though, we get ourselves ready to go into this weekend, and a long-time supporter of Hollywood Hills has been Vans Racing and the Farm Jam boys. So we went down to the first round, and it was an interesting situation. They've tried a different format. They've gone on the road. They've changed it to hare scrambles. They've tried to slow the pace down, and it's that 50-50 mixture of high speed and tech. Not too high speed and not too tech, but this time around, they're really going to be trying to kind of polish their whole process. So check out a couple of images and a couple of videos that we've got for you here. Get those entries in. That's going to be this weekend, just out the back door of Middelburg. from Joburg, from my place in Randburg, and from most of the guys up in Pretoria. If you're coming from Pretoria, it takes you maybe an hour and a half to get up there. From my place in Randburg, it's just over the 2-hour marker. So if you've got some practice you need to get in before the next GXCC and really just stay tight and stay strong and stay focused, get those entries in. It's on racecontrol.co.za, and we will see you this weekend out at Farm Jam. We'll also be reporting back next week and tell you what the highlights were. But it is Farm Jam number 2 of 2021, just around the corner. For now, it's been an amazing journey. Yeah, we're at the halfway marker of April, and it is a wild, wild, wild ride. Again, if you guys are still on holiday or had a great time out at Easter, welcome back. We're staying with you. We're carrying on our race coverage. Excuse me, tripped over my tongue there. But it has been a gnarly, gnarly, gnarly last couple of months, and it's in really good shape. So happy that we're just keeping going, keeping racing, staying positive and staying safe. And whatever we do, Hollywood will be there with you guys for the whole journey, telling you exactly what's going on in the big, bad, awesome world of cross-country, enduro, hare scramble, and off-road racing. Chat later, dudes.